Hello, our group is Stephanie Montoya, Amanda Optis, Jason Thomas, and Jesse Trespasses, and we selected Homeboy Industries, a charitable organization based in Los Angeles, California, as the organization for our communications plan. Homeboy Industries provides hope, training, and support to former gang members and previously incarcerated men and women. Some of the services and programs they provide include tattoo removal, legal services, educational services, and case management, and they also help employ these individuals in social enterprises such as a bakery, a cafe, a catering service, silkscreen embroidery shop, and more. So why does Homeboy Industries do what they do? Los Angeles County is home to 34% of California's poor, with a poverty rate of 16.1%. In October 2010, Education Week labeled Los Angeles as the dropout epicenter of the nation. Where financial and educational resources lack, gangs have thrived. Gang leaders predate upon mainly youth who feel like they have no prospects for the future. Gang leaders rely primarily on intimidation, assault, homicide, and other violent measures to dominate their subordinates. Ending the cycle of violence for gang members makes sense on a lot of levels. It offers renewed hope to individuals and lifts up struggling communities. Economically, mass incarceration is a huge financial burden on taxpayers. According to a report from the Department of Justice Bureau of Prisons, the fee to cover the average cost of incarceration for federal inmates in fiscal year 2015 was $31,977, and the average cost of 1 day in prison was $87.61. When one considers the numbers and potential for creating safer, more sustainable communities, programs like Homeboy Industries just make sense. As founder of Homeboy Industries, Father Greg Boyle says, "What if we were to invest in this population, rather than just endlessly incarcerate?" And that is the philosophy behind Homeboy Industries. The work of Homeboy Industries is deeply rooted in the Jesuit tradition. 6 values that are known as the principles of the Jesuits include 1. Magis, meaning more. This is the challenge to strive for excellence. Women and men for and with others. This is sharing gifts, pursuing justice, and having concern for the poor and marginalized. Cura personalis, or care for the individual person, respecting each person as a child of God and all of God's creations. Unity of heart, mind, and soul, developing the whole person and integrating all aspects of our lives. Ad majorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. And forming and educating agents of change, teaching behaviors that reflect critical thought and responsible action on moral and ethical issues. Click on the image above to view a short video about Homeboy Industries. It's really about entering into a relationship with each other that is mutually life-giving. Telling the Homeboy story. Here we'll talk about our communications plan and how we analyzed our stakeholders, strategies, and tactics as part of the communications plan. So, who is our audience? We decided that our audience includes both internal and external audiences. Internally, our audience is the Homeboy employees, including board members, government agencies, including the City of Los Angeles Trust and Los Angeles County Sheriffs, corporate donors like Boeing and Disney, and individuals' foundations and trusts like John and Gary Crescenza Family Foundation and the Hope Foundation. External audiences include Homeboy industry customers, or the people that patronize its businesses, current gang members, current and recently released convicts, local officials, including city and county officials and district judges and attorneys, future potential business partners, potential business acquisitions, financial media, and nonprofit watchdogs. The stakeholders here are both internal and external to Homeboy Industries and have a vested interest in the organization's activities. Most important is the employees of the Homeboy Industries' various businesses, as they represent the population the group seeks to help. The aspect of providing jobs for former gang members and convicts should always be prominent in its messaging, as this is the organization's primary purpose, as opposed to earning profits. For government agencies, their primary stake in this venture is legitimacy and demonstrating its support to programs that provide an alternative to incarceration. Legitimacy is also a concern for both corporate and private donors who require assurances that their funding is primarily going toward the rehabilitation of current and future Homeboy employees. For external audiences, Homeboy Industries' communications efforts should mainly focus on driving consumers to purchase their goods and knowing their money is going towards successful rehabilitation. It should also be reaching out to current gang members and convicts who are set to be released in order to show them that there is a productive alternative to gang activities. Support from influential members of the legal system provides Homeboy Industries additional legitimacy and an additional conduit to reach and communicate with gang members seeking a better way of life. Another key external audience is small business owners that Homeboy Industries can incorporate into their network. Communications can focus on how a relationship could be mutually beneficial. Finally, communications should be actively seeking out members of the media, continuously highlighting Homeboy Industries' commitment to being a nonprofit and dispelling perceptions of how the organization is becoming more focused on profits due to its growing acquisitions of local businesses. So what are we hoping to achieve? Our overarching strategy for this communications plan focuses on increasing the charitable donations for Homeboy Industries in the form of monetary, volunteering, and hiring contributions. Our strategy is firstly to identify stakeholders, then identify the publicity and marketing opportunities that we can use to fundraise. After that, we would develop materials, target stakeholders with these materials, and evaluate our success. Our goal is to increase stakeholder support of Homeboy Industries by increasing total charitable donations, both in one-time and monthly gifts, increasing sales from the grocery, bakery, and market businesses of Homeboy, increasing sales of catering services and total material donations received, and increasing the higher rate of program participants. The messages we would use to reach our audiences and tactics would feature themes that speak to the success of Homeboy Industry as it resonates with each stakeholder audience. For potential donors, these themes include showing how donations are critical to sustaining and expanding the positive impact of Homeboy Industries. Expansion of programs means more jobs for former gang members. And we provide viable, cost-effective alternatives to incarceration. Our programs have also been duplicated all over the world because of their efficacy. And re-entry for gang members lifts up surrounding communities because they're able to contribute financially and otherwise. The key to our communications plan is essentially to communicate. There's a need that exists for expanding services, donations are used responsibly, programs are effective, and impact expands beyond the individual to the community. Some of the tools that we could use are appeal letters to donors, including testimonials, targeted grant writing, offering tours to potential donors and volunteers of our facilities to engage them in our mission, emphasizing the mission in social enterprises, including visible messaging on created products and use of branded signage. We also engage in a 5K awareness run, make use of social media, and reinvest some of our funds in paid advertising to meet donor demographics. As our media example, we created a brochure providing information about Homeboy Industries and how people can give. The messaging includes narrative information about how the organization and its mission, as well as testimonials from credible spokespeople, such as a program participant and the program's founder. Also included are data points demonstrating the impact of Homeboy Industries and presents multiple options for giving to the organization so that stakeholders can select one that suits them. You can take a closer look at this brochure by opening the attachment in our original post. So how will we know if we are successful? We would measure success based on organizational statistics, examining both quantitative and qualitative data that illustrate the growth of Homeboy Industries. From annual revenue data, we can determine the percent increase in product purchases, service hires, sponsors, and donations. We can also see if there has been an increase in the overall number of staff members and program trainees. Additionally, news media impressions, social media activity, and direct survey feedback will help illuminate the public and external perception of the organization. Thank you for taking the time to view our presentation. Some of our resources are listed here. If you want to learn more about Homeboy Industries, feel free to visit their website at www.homeboyindustries.org. They were also recently featured in an NPR article, and their website includes some great examples of how messaging and communication strategies can be used in a complex organization.